fast as expedient as much as possible. Now I want to say welcome back. Thank you for following the channels and being here. Transformer TCG fans, friends, and family. Yes, I have taken this off, so if I show some of my videos out of order and it looks like I've gone to clean shaven to poof goatee, it's out of order. Or I'm Tim Allen from This Santa Claus. Now I just want to go over two characters, undisclosed chapter characters from the Earth side. There might there should be a little verbiage added on the back end of one of them, but I'm just going to leave it as is, because if I correct, how's the best way I can put this? Let's get into this. If you like this content, throw some scraplets at that like button. Let's get into it. Okay, so we've gone over about six or seven or so or more of my undisclosed chapter characters. Now, up next, and I've tried recording this a few times already, and it's just gone a little long. Or the first time I did it, I did not like the bot mode. It was unfinished, it was uncolored, and it was just a mixture of marker and pen and computer, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this looks terrible. So I had to go in and went back in and corrected it all and filled it in and made it bigger, and he looks so much better. So this is Craven is what we're talking about now. Craven is a Jeep Renegade, so I call him a Renegade Scout. Maybe I should make him a truck instead of a car, but right now he's a car in melee. He's only a 6-star character, which he's going to be a nice character to give you some draw power. So this Renegade Scout is two to attack, 2 for defense, and 2 for attack, 2 for defense, and 10 health, which is pretty standard for a low end car 6-star character. So for his alt mode, when you flip to this mode, draw 1. You may put a card from your hand on top of your deck. So this is I basically draw 1 and plan 1, but I really wanted to write that out to give you a nice reminder. You don't have to plan if you don't want to, because plan is always a mother may I. Now, where does the draw come from, Grillenheimer? Oh no, your deck. Where else would you really draw from? And we're going to get to that with another character, because the other character is a 10-star, and he has something special. But when you draw from your deck. You know, that's just the flow of the game. So Craven, when you flip him from bot mode to alt mode, when you flip to this mode, draw 1. You may put a card from your hand on top of your deck. When we flip him to bot mode, he's still melee. His attack goes up to 4. His defense comes down by 1. After this attacks and has a total attack damage of 5 or more, flip this to alt mode. Because I've been debating about how this is worded. If I need to reword this, I can. I don't know how many times I've reworded this for Craven in his bot mode, but basically you're going to need to. I mean, he already has an attack of 4, but if you have him that having you definitely get some pierce, some cards with some pierce on it, and some black pips in black and orange kind of deck-ish here with this guy to be able to get him flipped over after he does attacks. And what does that happen? You can draw 1 again. Then you'll be on the defensive. So if you wanted to plan 1 and set up that double blue card you have in your hand from a handheld blaster, you could do that if you wanted to, but you don't have to. It's still good draw power. Being able to get a big swing in with Craven if possible. So there's that. So, what do you think of him? He is an Autobot. He is an uncommon. He's number 5 out of the total here. And there are 16 characters in this file. So that is correct. Now, Diesel Head is up next. Now, Diesel Head, what has happened here is that I finished him, put him in the MSC, and came up with his abilities, and then realized, oh crap, I didn't shade him. And so, and one of his modes is actually in the real world. And originally that was how Craven was too, in his bot mode. And that when I changed him out and recolored him, made him a little bigger, filled him out, and gave him shading and recolored. It's like I put him on Cybertron. I put him on a Cybertron background instead of an Earth background. And even though that was the whole point of the Cybertron Undisclosed chapter characters, the Earth side is I wanted them to show like they were here on Earth, based on their current, very modern vehicular modes. Okay, so Dieselhead. So what I had to do is some of his text might really need to be tightened up just a little bit. I'm not worried about it, because the pain is that in the MSC he has no shading. So what I did is that when I felt like I had his text right, then I had to save it as a file, move the file over, add the shading, and then this is what we have. So if there's something about the text that really needs to be changed, then I'm going to have to completely reshade the character. I'd really not rather do that, but there's that. So Dieselhead is the Flotsam Armorer, based on, and he's a Decepticon, he's a Wrecker, he's a truck, and a melee. He's a 10-star character with 2 to attack, 3 defense, and 12 health. And the little fan fiction idea I had for this character is that originally, before he went to Earth, he was on Cybertron, and he was after the Autobots and Decepticons would have one of their big power battles, and make up a Cybertron city name. Dieselhead would be one of the last Decepticons, slowly picking up the pieces as he left, and he'd be picking up, junk, scrap, armor, weapons, whatever. And it was really reminiscent of when I used to play Phantasy Star Online on the Dreamcast, on the original Xbox, and I didn't go online with the GameCube, but when we would all play online, and we'd all go and finish the game and defeat the boss, and then come back, they would all take the telepipe, and boop, they'd already back on Pioneer 1. Well, I would take my time, and I would go backwards and pick up all the junk, and take a telepipe, sell, go back down, you pick up more junk, take the telepipe, and sell. I was basically the scavenger. So Dieselhead was sort of a scavenger kind of character, and because with that idea that he was more of a personality, he was kind of big, kind of lumbering, kind of a Decepticon version of Bulkhead in a way, big green truck. I wasn't even thinking of Bulkhead when I created this character, I'll admit. And one of y'all, an old fan from 2 years ago, came up with the idea of the name Dieselhead, and I gave it to this one. So there's that. We had some great input from my old fans from years ago, creating some of these characters and the names and whatnot. So that was very fun in itself too. I miss that. So Dieselhead here it sort of represents that. Thus, he's a Flotsam Armorer, and really digging through synonyms and dictionaries and Webster and whatever to come up with that. So, and the idea was that if he was lagging behind after a major battle, and most of the Decepticons were gone, and he's clearing some stuff out for the war, that maybe some of the would-be wreckers or wreckers itself would eventually, be doing some of the same stuff that Dieselhead might be doing, and have a bit of a dialogue without fighting, and Dieselhead could secretly be a wrecker, but on the Decepticon side in a way. So he could be riding that fine line of Autobot and Decepticon and wrecker. Just an idea, just something fun to do. So if you have wreckers set up, and trying to go for some of that action, you could throw a Dieselhead in here, but he's a 10-star character, so that's kind of big. I don't know. But anyway, when you flip to this mode, you may take an upgrade from your scrap pile and put it in your hand. So you're not being able to play it unless you just haven't already played an upgrade. per turn. So you're able to get upgrades from your scrap when you flip him from bot to alt mode. When this defends, you may scrap up to 3 equipped upgrades from this character, do 1 damage to an enemy for each upgrade scrapped, and the words "this way" should be on the end of that. But I'm not worried about it. We know what it means. Okay? I don't want to have to. Well, I have done the shading on this character twice now already because of trying to fix the text. I'm not worried about it. So we know what this means. When if you can do 1 damage to an enemy, which means if you have 3 attack drones and some other stuff on him, you can, and he is defending. When this defends, scrap those 3 attack drones. You're not needing it. You're defending, and you can go, oh, do 1 damage to onslaught, do 1 damage to swindle, do 1 damage to brawl. Okay, or you can do, say, do 3 damage to Bruticus. So there's some play here with that. For each upgrade Dieselhead dumps is basically dumping on one of your character's enemies, and you can get 1 damage off of it that way. So there's that. But he has to defend, and he has to have some upgrades on him. So he and Craven may be different factions, but they might actually pair up fairly well. Never really had thought of that. In bot mode, Dieselhead is still a wrecker. In melee, he's melee in both modes. His attack goes up to 4. His defense comes down to 1. His health is still 12. After this battles, you may put an armor you flip for battle into your hand. So whether you're attacking or defending, you flip an armor, you can put it in your hand. Okay, so you get draw power with Craven, flipping from bot to alt, battling with Dieselhead, getting upgrades into your hand. Especially if you want to use that Mega Missile Catapult, you see something like that flipped. It may be a blank pip card because it's got strong non-attack damage. Then this is one way to get some of that stuff into your hand. Just an idea, or even a fusion board. Okay, so there's that. There's Dieselhead and Craven. I think we went over them pretty quickly. In the meantime, I'm so close to finishing up the Power Masters. I've gotten a lot done. I'm trying to remember some of the names who I just finished up, but I'm now working on Varga and Lift. Not Lift Ticket. That's some recolor of like Hoist or Trailbreaker or something in the new figure line. So that's all I got right now. We'll catch you next time. That's right. Varga is going to be a mercenary Power Master. Lift will be an Autobot. They're the same drawing. I just flipped it, and I'm making them 2 different colors. And I'm not. It's the only character I'm doing that with, and making. So I'm not having. Well, I'm still having to redraw it because this has been taking some time. But I'm so close to the end. Let me tell you. So with that, we went over Craven and Dieselhead. Hopefully this is the final for Dieselhead. The Mega Missile Catapult has been updated. Let's look at that super quick because I put it out there on Facebook. Oh, here it is. And somebody, I think it was Henry, I think that was his name, said that maybe this would be worded better. So when the upgraded character attacks and you have Mega Missile Catapult on 2 other tapped characters, do 4 damage to an enemy if it has 15 stars or more. So boom, I like that. That's perfect. That was just a great. I mean, my ego is. I left my ego with the custom page January of 2021. And it's just been great. It's been a great experience. It's been a learning experience. So with that, but the Mega Missile Catapult is still a blank utility with no attack, no defense, since it does have such a high non-attack damage. If you can get 3 on the field all at the same time, And that last one you have, they get to tap. Boom. Nice 4 attack. So we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. And as always, have a blessed day, not just a great day. And if you like this content, throw some scraplets at that like button. We'll catch you next time. And as always, Autobots, flip out and let's roll for it.